Do you work in the industry as a server or a bartender and want to save $100,000? I'll bet you do. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So first, I'll give you a little backstory about myself and my experience in this industry. I have been working in many different restaurants and bars over the last 9 years, all the way from low-end restaurants up to very, very high-end French restaurants. I've really worked in it all. I started serving back in my hometown, but once I moved out here to the bigger city, I started bartending in a very high volume restaurant, which led me to save over $30,000 within 18 months. So with almost a decade of experience in this industry and the know-how to save money, I am the right guy to share some solid advice on how to find that right restaurant or bar to make money and how to save it. So the 4 topics we are going to be covering today are the right restaurants or bars to work in to make a lot of money, what to do with your tips, tricks to save money, and your monthly income compared to your monthly bills. But before we get further into the video and me sharing my secrets with you guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton. So first, to be able to save $100,000, you need to be in the right restaurant or bar making good money. This is where it all starts. What to look for is a high volume restaurant and a tip out that is hopefully on the lower end. Or if customer volume isn't very high, then your menu items must be expensive so your nightly sales are not low. Either way, the most important thing is that your nightly sales are high, because that means your tips will be very high as well. Where I work bartending, I sell about $1,200 a night in my sales. That's not extremely high, but with the tip out to the restaurant and kitchen being on the low end at 5%, and with the average tip from the customer being about 18%, that means I'm taking home 13% of $1,200. Plus, I get tipped out from the servers for making their drinks. Every night, I take home about $175 in tips. But the 5% tip out is very low. I am extremely lucky there. The average you'll see nowadays out here in Canada is about 7 to 8%. And I've even seen it as high as 10%, which is just crazy. You want to avoid those high tip outs to the restaurant or kitchen. So to be able to save $100,000 as fast as possible, you need to be making $35 an hour or more. If you are making $25 an hour or less with your hourly wages combined with your tips, you need to go find another job. There are so many other serving and bartending jobs out there for you. Go check them out. Tip number 2. What to do with your tips. So this one is huge. If you are working in a place that pays you out your tips every night, make sure you are depositing your tips in the bank at the end of every shift or at the end of the week. By depositing your tips, it will help you track what you are spending your money on. We all know what it's like just to have a bunch of cash in hand, and when it's gone, we're like, where did it go? It is impossible to keep track of where your cash in hand goes. If you are tracking it through your online banking, you will see exactly what you're spending your money on. You can make cuts, make some changes. It will really help you just to save your money and track what you're spending. So absolutely make sure you are not spending the cash you have on hand. Don't treat it like it's just extra cash you have to spend, because if you are making $150 or more a night in tips, that's gonna equivalent to about 50 to 60% of your monthly income. So by just spending that, you are spending half or more of your income. You have to treat your tips like they are very precious, because they are. I cannot tell you the amount of people I have worked with in the past that just burn their tips away very fast. Like every day, just spending them right away. Or the absolute worst I have seen are when I've worked in a pub or a restaurant and the day servers are off in the afternoon and they'll stay and have 2, 3, 4 drinks and a meal and spend half, if not all of their tips before they've even left the restaurant. I have never been one to do that. As soon as my shift is over, I'll leave. Get the hell out of the restaurant or bar and go put that money in the bank. It's crucial. Tip number 3. These are some tricks to save your money. So with saving your money, the best way to go into it, of course, is setting yourself a budget. Now, we've heard this everywhere. People are always saying, set a budget, have a budget. And it doesn't have to be too painful setting a budget when you are working in this industry, because we are very cash flow positive and you will make some really good money working in the right place. So set aside about 25% of your monthly income for spending. And just be aware of that spending amount all throughout the month. How much do you have left? How much are you gonna spend on this? How much are you gonna spend on that? After you spend money on those things, how much will you have left to leave you for the rest of the month? Always keep track of that number within your budget and always stay within your budget. If you spend a lot one week, make the next week cheaper. Have that balance and don't constantly overspend. Think about the future when you will be sitting on that big pile of money, wiping your with $100 bills. And once again, being a frequent of checking your online banking, always knowing the numbers of how much you have left to spend within the month, and constantly look at your savings. Look at that number and make sure you want it to grow. Something that I personally did to help me save a lot of money was set up a deposit-only bank account. So I couldn't actually use my bank card to make purchases or go to the ATM to take money out at all. So I had no stupid purchases. I could only deposit money into the ATM or deposit money into the branch. I could take out money if I went into the branch itself, but banks close at 4 p.m. They're not open on the weekend, so it made it a lot harder for me to take any money out of that account. So essentially it was just deposit only and I could make no mistakes spending that money. It helped me save a lot of money. So if that is an option for you and you have a difficult time saving money, go to your local bank and see if you can set up a deposit-only bank account. It will help a lot. Tip number 4, monthly income versus monthly bills. So of course you have to be saving more than you are spending on your monthly bills and fun. We as people in the service industry are very cash flow positive most of the time, so it is very easy for us just to pay off our bills right when they come up. Don't let your bills stack up, pay them off right away. You also don't want your monthly bills exceeding more than 30% of your monthly income. If you can stay within the margin of 30% or lower, you will have tons of room for saving money. Financial experts say save 1/3 and spend 2/3 on your fun and bills. If you are someone that has high monthly bills because you have a family or medical expenses, try to cut down your fun money so you can reach that $100,000 fast. Myself personally, I make about $6,000 a month and my monthly bills are right around $1,600. So I am spending 26% of my monthly income on my bills and I spend about 25% on fun, leaving myself with around 50% to go straight into my savings account and to build my net worth. If you are also in a position where you can reach this 50% savings margin, you will too get to that $100,000 fast as well. And I got just a few other tips here for you guys. Don't think you need to work in a very high, fine dining restaurant to make a ton of money. I worked in a few really nice high-end restaurants out here in the big city and they turned out to be a bust. When I got hired on to a French restaurant here, I was extremely excited. I thought I was gonna make a ton of money, but because the tip out to the kitchen and restaurant was at 10%, I was only taking home about 50% of my tips. And don't get me wrong, the kitchen crew and other people in the restaurant do deserve to make good money, but us as the servers or bartenders are getting everything that customer needs. So we deserve to take home the majority of those tips. You don't want to work in a restaurant where you're giving away 50% or more of your tips. And always be looking online for new jobs. See what else is out there. If your current job is not paying enough, go get a second job or scrap that job altogether and go find yourself a new job. Go on Craigslist, go on Kijiji, or whatever it has in your country or state or province. Look online, go hand out resumes and go get a new job. Don't be afraid. Don't stay in your current position because you are comfortable. That is not going to make you a lot of money and grow your wealth. You are just gonna stay stagnant and in the same position with no money. Grow your wealth. That's what we want to do. Don't be afraid. Go out there, go get it, make that money. And if you are young, listen to your parents when they tell you to save your money and work hard. They are not joking. Time is just gonna pass on by. You don't wanna still be left in your 30s, 40s, 50s with no money. That doesn't make any sense. In your 20s, in your early 30s, and older, just work and save. And then later on in life, you're gonna have a ton of money that you can invest, you can travel, you can do whatever you want with. It feels so good when your bank account is growing higher and higher, and it's just not gonna stop. My mom is a financial queen, and that's who first drilled it into my head to save your money, work hard, and it has always stuck with me throughout my 20s and now into my early 30s. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed another video. This one I've been wanting to do for a while to share some more tips and tricks on how to save money. You know, I've always been that guy out of my friends that has just always been able to save my money, be money conscious, always be thinking forward about my next step, what I'm spending my money on. So I hope you learned a few things today and you can apply this to help yourself save money in the future and reach that 100K. Let's go, you guys. All right, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, come on back for so many more tips and tricks. If you are a server, a bartender, and you like content revolving around all of that, go check out my channel for other videos. I post new videos twice a week. So I hope we see you guys again soon. All right, bye guys.